Good evening, race fans. Welcome here to Legacy Pocono for tonight's IndyCar 1909.com 125. My name is Robert Hill Jr. Joining me tonight in the booth, as always, is Chris Wright. Chris, how you doing tonight, my friend?
I'm doing pretty good, ready to sit down and watch some racing on Phoenix, the old Phoenix, the good Phoenix, the racy Phoenix. We're going to see some of the best Phoenix racing we've seen in years at Elite tonight.
Yeah, and as you just saw in that previous shot, the campground absolutely packed here tonight. I just want to take a quick gander at the points before we get going here, Chris. Just 4 rounds remaining in the regular season, and things are getting pretty tight up there in the points. So we take a look. We'll go to the top first, as for some reason I decided, hey, let's take a look at the guys that aren't even in the points fight currently. But all the way at the top, you do see Tyler Fode. He is not here tonight. Ethan Stanley second, Chase Cabery in third, Ethan Burrell fourth, Scott Crump in that fifth spot. But what we're watching is the battle around 15th here to set the tail of that playoff field. So guys like Jesse Racines, Gerald Campbell, Seth Rawls, Nick Massey, Tate Lytle, Josh Robin, Tommy Ryan, Leighton Norgard, and Michael Hossig all intertwined in a rather tight fight there towards the tail of that top 20. So we'll have to keep our eyes on that. We also have a rookie battle we'll touch on a little bit later. But taking a look at the starting grid tonight, it's Matthew Weeks on the pole alongside Chase Cabery in row number 1, Ethan Burrell, Scott Crump row 2, Nick Massey, Michael Hossig make up row number 3 with Ethan Stanley, Jeff Green, Johnny Thomas, and Tyler Popp rounding out the top 10. David Tucker and Leighton Norgard make up the first 6 rows. Chris, right?
Yeah, and then in 13th, we got Jay Canor. We got Gerald Campbell right there in 14th. Chad Frankenfield back there running up the top 15. Tommy Ryan, Josh Robin, Vince Isabella, Ty McIntosh, Andrew Hardcastle, David Carpenter, Gavin Higgins, Brent Jones, Kenyon Jones, Jesse Racines, Dustin Dewar, Zach Evans, Jaden Racines, Andrew McCall, Hunter Smith round out the top 30. Rounding out the field, we've got Goody, Seth Rawls, Mark Rebilas, Kyle Henshaw, Tate Lytle, Connor Thompson, and Jeff Ryan.
Already getting set to go. Great, Nick Massey, your pick. I'm gonna go with the low-hanging fruit here. I'm gonna go Chase Cabery up there on the front row in the speed factor number 39 as we are underway. 125 laps tonight, 4 sets of tires, and halfway coming at about lap 63. It is Chase Cabery already out to the early lead ahead of Matthew Weeks. You can see them side by side for position, and of course, with this being the old Phoenix, Chris Wright, the 2008 version, the start finish line will be on the front straightaway, not in the middle of turn number, I believe that used to be turn number 3.
Yeah, and no dog leg. If they try to cut that dog leg, they're going to be in the grass and in some big trouble.
Yeah, definitely don't want to get down there into that grassy area. Doesn't treat you well. And again, want to shout out our race sponsor tonight, IndyCar1909.com. That is IndyCar1909.com. IndyCar past, present, and future. Great to have them back with us once again this evening. A great partner here of the Elite Racing League. Quick time so far for Chase Cabery, about 1/10 of a second quicker than third place Ethan Burrell, who has been showing some great pace here so far tonight. Scott Crump there in fourth. Matthew Weeks, we accidentally skipped over him up there in second, but now side by side for that 5th spot, it's Nick Massey up top, Ethan Stanley on the inside. And we see these Lake Norman drivers, and some of you at home might be wondering, well, where's Tyler Fode at? Fode is out on business. He's on a business trip, won't be back till Wednesday, so he will not be taking part in this round this evening. So an opportunity maybe to see a bit of a shakeup in those points, Chris.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be quite the shakeup that maybe we would anticipate or would think with the way the drop weeks work. This will just become his drop week, and I don't think there'll be any crazy changes or he'll go from 1st to 5th.
It won't be too major, that's for sure, as you see Nick Massey now under pressure there from Jeff Green. But Chase Cabery, the guy out front, is also out front in our rookie class. As we take a quick gander at those points, it's Chase Cabery, Tommy Ryan, Corey Heim, who is not here this evening, Andrew McCall, Gavin Higgins, Jeff Ryan, EJ O'Rourke, Carlos Acosta, and Josh Freed, the top 10 in those points. Missing a handful of those rookies tonight, but so far in this series, it has been all Chase Cabry for those rookie points. But we have a nice battle here for the top 10. It's Johnny Thomas and Gerald Campbell side by side, to the featured hosts on the Simply Racing podcast. You can find that Thursday nights on the Belly Up Sports YouTube channel. And last week, I don't know if you got to see it, Chris, right? But that gauntlet was shaken up a little bit with David Tooker running it in the dark.
It did not get a chance to see too much of it. I did see that they just announced a new podcast. It's going to be starting, the iRacing After Dark podcast. Or excuse me, Elite After Dark.
Well, it's not going to be an entire series. That's simply going to be a fun Saturday night where elite drivers and team motors and whatnot can get together and have a couple laughs and maybe talk a little bit about Chad Frankenfield forcing 3 wide, as he often does. Is he 3 wide yet? No, he is not, but probably soon.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm really excited about this. This Phoenix is a great racetrack to race on. One of the better tracks on the sim. It's a shame they got away from this. Is what I would consider when people had that big debate that talks about short tracks and how they tried to make Phoenix a short. Dale Jr. is very much against all these guys naming New Hampshire a short track and Phoenix. Well, this right here is when Phoenix raced like a short track. Everything about Phoenix was very much a short track before they went in and screwed it up. So this is the best version of Phoenix.
I agree with you on that one, Chris. It definitely is a great version of the racetrack. As we take a look back from Chase Cabry, you do see Matthew Weeks there in position number 2. We got a battle brewing here. It's Michael Hossig, Nick Massey, and the aforementioned Gerald Campbell up in that picture as well. These guys running rather close now. As you see, it's Hossig on the inside, Massey up top, Campbell right there, as well as David Tooker. You have Johnny Thomas and Chad Frankenfield just in the background of that shot as Hossig continues to go the inside. Gerald Campbell taking a little peek to the inside of Nick Massey as well. Not quite able to get there as of yet, but great battle for position number 8 on the racetrack.
Yeah, Nick says every time that I pick him to win, that his car automatically loses a tenth and a half. So he's struggling right now, trying not to back up too far.
Yeah, you can kind of see that a little bit from this rear end shot of the Nick Massey machine. Gerald Campbell has been all over him so far, not quite able to get it done as we ride on board here with Nick Massey. Channeling his inner Jeff Gordon tonight, rocking the DuPont suit and the Ally helmet. So he's just a confused Hendrick Motorsports fan. That's what we got out of this one for sure.
That's a great looking fire suit though. The helmet, could be a little better. Could have picked a Napa helmet or a Hendrick Cars helmet and at least had a champion helmet on too. And Alex Bowman, no champion yet. And keyword there yet. He still has the possibility of getting there, but.
Well, Jimmy had Ally for a little bit, did he not? Or was that Jeff Gordon? That was Dale Jr. Wasn't
Jimmy
it?
had Ally
Somebody did
as well. But when Jimmy got Allies, when Jimmy fell off the side of a cliff.
Well, I'm glad they were able to recover him. As we see Michael Hossig, he has just gone on a rapid descent through the field. Was up in that battle for 6th place not too long ago. Now back in 16th. So he has lost 10 positions since last time we checked in on him. So not the start that Michael Hossig was looking for here tonight. He'll try to get back up towards the front, but he is in a tight battle with Josh Robin and Tommy Ryan in that 66 machine just behind him. But just taking a look through the field, couple battles here. Hunter Smith, Jaden Racimus duking out for 27th is Josh Robin in that 18th spot. He's a big fan of our broadcast, Chris Wright, and wants to give this a try sometime. Thinks he'd be able to do a good job of that.
Well, he just about had the opportunity to do it here during the race. He drove down to the 3, got really sideways. I don't know if he hit the wall, but he went all the way out there to the wall. So he almost got his opportunity for tonight at Phoenix. And I'm seeing a lot of cars go down there, and maybe he was just trying to run that lane. There's a lot of cars, you notice. Yeah, right there, that 20 just went down in there and tried to run against the fence on the entry into 3. very unique line. A lot of these guys might not remember races here. You know, it's been a while and since they raced at this racetrack with this configuration, because if you remember, it got repaved and whatnot way before it got reconfigured. So it's been a long time. So some of these guys might not remember how to get around this place, and they're trying a bunch of different lanes here.
Watching a battle here for third, it's Ethan Burrell and Ethan Stanley, with Scott Crump not too far behind. Stanley in the 92, Burrell in the 37. Nearly a little bit of contact there between those two drivers as they duke it out for position. We're trying to monitor everything that we have throughout the field. It looks like Dave Carpenter going to lose a spot here potentially to Zach Evans and Andrew McCall. He's stuck down there on the inside as Evans and McCall cooking the high side. McCall getting a little bit sideways right there, Chris, right?
Yeah, and see, that's what I'm talking about. See how high those guys are running? Way up the racetrack down there in 3 and 4.
Yeah, kind of seeing the different lines that these guys are running, and like you said, some of them getting up just a little bit too high.
I feel like this is one of those places that's really hard on tires, and you want to try to get it right around the bottom. And if you can, you know, if you can do it with that left set in the car, you want to drive across that apron down on 3 and 4.
Well, Chris, not sure what just happened, but looks like we've lost both Jay Connor and Gavin Higgins in the same lap.
Yeah, I'm
both
not
of them
sure
have
what happened either.
both of them have just absolutely disappeared from the timing and scoring. Looks like they are both stationary as well. Not sure if they've exited.
3 wide contact down the short chute here. Tate Lytle's across the grass.
A little bit of landscape work there for Tate Lytle. Not sure where that one kicked off, but that didn't look too fun for him.
Very lucky we did not have a wreck right there. That was Tate having some great car control down through there.
When you mention car control or great car control and Tate Lytle, that really doesn't surprise me of that being a combination of words that you've put together, Chris Wright. Tate Lytle is an absolute wheelman. We've seen him in every series really just put on a clinic no matter what he does. And yes, he's currently buried back there in 22nd, and I'd say this opening stint of the race has gone out the window for him, but I would still expect to see Tate Lytle up there competing, maybe not for the victory, but definitely for a top 5 a little bit later on tonight.
Are you counting out Tate Lytle? I think he's going to have a shot. He did not get a qualifying lap. He's
that's not what I'm saying here, Chris. I'm saying that if he's not competing for the win, he's at least going to be up there in the top 5.
Tate will be up. Tate will be a factor. I guarantee it. I would not be surprised if Tate doesn't put that Days Gone machine up there in victory lane. It's a great looking car, great looking partnership, and they've been partnered. You know, Tate and Days Gone By have been partnered for as long as I've been.
Shout out to Brent Wentz.
So, I mean, that's a great partnership there. Days Gone By does a whole lot for Elite. They sponsor our championship stuff every time it comes about. So, if you're looking for some vintage NASCAR stuff, Days Gone By, look no further than them. You can find them on Twitter. Right now, Tate's trying to find his way to the front, back around some of these cars he passed. Even though he went through the grass and gave up some spots, he is still one of our biggest movers. He's still gained, 14 spots? As of right now, he is still looking to gain some more, trying to battle with Seth back there.
Quite the battle for sure.
How hard they're struggling coming up off the corner. That's good for racing when you have problems getting the power down.
Yeah, as we watch here from the Tate Lytle machine, you're just seeing how much these guys are having to push it ahead of him here. Ty McIntosh absolutely battling that 75 machine, a couple cars ahead here of Tate Lytle. That is Seth Rawls right ahead of him. Jesse Racines up in the mix as well. He's getting wiggly on the straightaway. 25 laps down already. So, oh, Ty McIntosh around! Wow, what a save!
There's a lot of smoke back there, but luckily nobody wrecked. Look at these guys out here saving these race cars.
I am incredibly impressed right there by what Ty McIntosh was just able to do. He got punted, but he was able to save it and keep that car going in the right direction.
Now, who punted him?
Jesse Racimus in the 70 got into the rear end of the Ty McIntosh machine, got him sideways, and they were able to continue on. But just really, really impressed with that one, honestly.
Tell you what, these boys are doing their best not to have a caution. We love to see it. Absolutely love to see it.
Yeah, we definitely do like to see that. Estate Lytle going to get pinched down rather tight there by the 75 of McIntosh. You would think he forgot that he was just punted not too long ago with how tight he just pinched that 56 down to the inside.
Yeah, and it looks like it's really hard to get the drive off up on the bottom to make passes. And so that's what Tate's struggling with. He's a little bit quicker, but just cannot quite get the drive off he needs there.
As they close up there on
there.
Seth. Oh, Seth getting a little bit unsettled as well. That's Rawls in the 25.
I like his line right around the bottom to save tires. Now he's going to go up here and try to get a big run. Now watch the run. He's going to get down the backstretch here on the 75. Oh, sideways.
I think the run might have just gone out the window right there, Chris.
Yep.
He's trying everything, though, doing everything he possibly can. Yes, that's good car control. Also, probably burning up a little bit of those Goodyear tires. But taking a look at another battle on the racetrack. Next closest looks like it's around Andrew McCall. He has Brent Jones under fire here. Going to take a look to the inside of him. This is the battle actually for 26th on the racetrack. The entire top 10 is spread out pretty well with the exception of Gerald Campbell and David Tooker. As we jump up there now, these two nose to tail. That's Campbell in the 00, Tooker in the 19 just behind him here, trying to see what he can do to get up there and potentially steal that position from the Gerald Campbell machine. Campbell gets a little bit sideways right there. Yeah, these guys are cooking it early on, Chris, and honestly, this has been, I'm not even going to knock on wood here because no matter what happens, if we get a caution right now, whatever, this has been the best start to a Rebilas Photography Grand National Series race that we've had all season long. We've gone 31 laps green so far.
And I'm going to tell you, this car and track combination is set up pretty good. These Xfinity cars on this old Phoenix track, it's absolutely incredible. The racing's incredible. Old, worn-out asphalt. Tires that slide around, give up. I mean, look at Tooker here trying to work the bottom. Gerald trying to race him. Gerald just invited him out, right? Tooker just did the gauntlet that you were talking about.
Yeah, Tooker did just take part in the gauntlet. Again, you can check that out on Belly Up Sports on the Simply Racing podcast. But, whoa!
Tooker sideways with a blink.
Oh, that was a little scary. Some of these guys, Chris, I will let you know, have been having issues with the server farms today on the iRacing.com service, especially those that have been linked to the Boston server farms, such as Jaden Racimus, Jesse Racimus, Chad Blinkenfield. All of those guys just have had the issues. I don't know if Tooker's feeling the effects of that as well. I wouldn't think he would connect to the Boston server, but you never know as these guys continue to duke it out. We're going to find the next closest battle on the track, and, well, that's back here. It's side-by-side Josh Robin and Conan Jones.
And Josh Robin was just in front of Hosick right there and got really sideways. So lucky to still have the race car, but we love to see how much these guys are struggling to keep the tires on. You know, and I was talking to some drivers before the race. They said they give up pretty good, but they do think that if the right opportunity rises, they could get away with two tires because of the flat racetrack, the lefts not wearing too awful much. So we'll see if that comes into play, because I think it's going to take some kind of strategy in order to beat that guy right there that you're looking at. So we shall see what happens, and if anybody can get up there and do something with Chase, because right now Chase has got himself nearly a second and a half lead to Weeks, and then behind Weeks it's another second and a half or so to Crump. So, and I know that math is not adding up perfect. They're not quite a second and a half, but close enough.
So we take a little bit of a run through the field, just seeing where everyone is at. Where's your favorite driver? Folks, if you are tuned in here tonight, let us know, who do you think is going to get the victory in just over 90 laps from now? So we're looking further towards the tail of that top 20. Everyone that started is still running at this point, I believe, with the exception of Gavin Higgins, who had himself a connection issues. We see the battle continuing here between Tate Lytle and Ty McIntosh. McIntosh getting a little kiss with the outside walls. Lytle going to take a look to the inside of that machine. We'll watch and see if he's able to get it done in the days gone by. RaceCPI.com, number 56, Toyota Supra for Pro Edge Racing. Not going to be able to get it that time.
If I know Tate's getting a little bit frustrated right now. He has been trying to pass this guy for 10 laps and has yet to do it. So Tate might have to get a little physical here.
Watching another battle here just behind them, 22nd and 23rd. It's Hunter Smith and Jesse Racimus duking it out. Zach Evans, he's feeling fine tonight in the Me Fine number 6 car. Hanging out right behind them for Wally Racing. We'll see what he's able to do. See if he's able to get up there and get that position from those guys. Just behind them is a couple of Andrews. It's Andrew Hardcastle and Andrew McCall with Dave Carpenter. Somebody just got off in the dirt. Not sure who that was. Hanshaw, Rebilas, Thompson, Ryan, and Jaden Racimus rounding out the cars on the lead lap. It's Jake Connor currently scored 2 laps down at this point. Gavin Higgins, the only car, like I said, not still running as we come up to lap number 40 already, nearly a third of the way through this one. Chris, do you have any numbers on what the pit window is for these drivers tonight?
That's funny you should ask. I was just talking to a crew chief down here for the 48, and the word of the day is loose. They say it's loose in, loose off, a little bit tight in the middle, but the driver's really enjoying the way that the car is. He said it's kind of like a throwback, so he is very, very much enjoying this. We are about halfway through a fuel run, so they can run about another 40, 45 more laps here if they so choose. We'll see what everybody does. The pit window to make it to the end is just about open right here, so if somebody were to pit right now, they could run to the end, but based on the feedback, they would not want to, as Nick gets a little hit there going into 1 from David Tooker. Tooker said, "Oh, you're loose, let me help you out here a little bit."
So obviously still a little bit of time to go before scheduled pit stops for these drivers. But Chris, I wouldn't really expect them to stretch it out to the full 80 laps or so. Maybe come down in the mid 70s, late 60s, as this looks really tight behind. Gerald Campbell, Chad Frankenfield side by side for that 10th spot. You know Gerald's not going to just move over and let Chad Frankenfield by.
And we know Chad won't be as patient as Tate Lytle is either back there. So Chad will try this a time or two, and if he can't do it, he'll just start taking some of Gerald's racetrack away. As
you see Chad Frankenfield blinking there just a little bit, that's not a uncommon occurrence for that driver. It's Jesse Racimus around. Well, there goes the pit strategy that we just mentioned. And Chris, everyone will be able to make it to the end from here if they so choose. But let's take a look and see what just happened to Jesse Racimus. Something tells me it's a little bit of a self-spin.
Loose, loose.
Loose, loose. Down goes the caboose as Jesse Racimus gonna go for a spin. Well, Chris, looks like we're going to get set for some pit stops here. I'd expect everyone down pit road this time. What about you?
I think being in the window to make it to the end, they have 3 sets of tires laying in there. They're going to come, use them, put them on, get a good look at the tire wear, a good look at what they can do different. That, just hearing them talk on the radio, Nick's talking about getting a look at the tires and kind of, he already has an idea of some changes he's going to make with the brake bias and how he's working the car early. First real look at the tires. You can tell a lot, by looking at the tires. Are you wearing at the right front, the right rear? Which tire do you need to get on a little bit more, get off a little bit more? A lot of talk about trying to keep the right rear on the tire throughout the run. right there on the car, not on the tire.
And you see it right there, the field coming down pit road, with the exception, of course, of Jaden Racimus and Jay Connor. Both of those drivers staying out. Connor might take the wave around here, Chris. Not sure if he will opt to do so, but as the field works their way to pit road, we're going to hit the pits as well. We'll be right back in the IndyCar1909.com 125. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head to head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
The NASCAR Cup Series returns to Worldwide Technology Raceway on June 1st and 2nd, 2024. The time to get your tickets is now. For only $10 down, you can lock in your seats for an incredible weekend of family fun, featuring the Enjoy Illinois 300 and the Confluence Music Festival. Racing, music, camping, it all adds up to one amazing party. Go to www.raceway.com for the hottest ticket of the year.
And we are back here at Phoenix. It's the IndyCar1909.com 125. As you can see just behind the pace car there, new leader, Chris Wright. It is Matthew Weeks with Chase Cabry, Ethan Burrell, Ethan Stanley, and Scott Crump inside the top five.
Yeah, new leader, but he won the pole and started up there. Lost it in the first corner, so we'll see if he learned something from earlier and learned to find a way to keep this lead.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to see what happens here. This is caution number one. You just heard from our friends at Worldwide Technology Raceway, one of our premier partners alongside Blue Egg Marketing. Blue Egg is the marketing department for small businesses, small business owners. Blue Egg is your biggest fan. Rebilas Photography. Check them out, rebilasphoto.com, for all your photography needs. Courtesy of Mark J. Rebilas, driver of the number 99, currently still on the racetrack in P32. And it's been a good start to this one, nearly 50 laps in already. Just cleaning up from caution number one as we're getting set to go green. Let's throw it to Matthew Weeks as he takes the green flag, and we are back underway.
Chad Frankenfield's going to go Chad wide down to the turn one underneath David Took. Not going to be able to make that work. Like clockwork, man.
To be fair, he doesn't always make it work. He tries to be a little bit overly aggressive. As you see right there, chops Vincent Isabella. That's not necessarily going to go over well as a Leighton Norgard in the outside wall. He's going to be three wide with Isabella and Kynan Jones. Contact with Norgard, and Kynan Jones sends Jones sideways. They're able to continue on without much issue. But now Vincent Isabella absolutely trapped, and he is struggling right now as Michael Hosick gets the outside wall here, Chris Wright. A lot more chaos on this restart, as now side by side for second is Cabry on the inside and Stanley up top.
Yeah, they got that side-by-side battle for second. I know we can't leave that battle, but one car moving forward here on this restart, making great moves. Tate Lytle, he has found his way to the top 15 real fast. As you see, Ethan Stanley cleared a second. And now here comes Ethan Burrell. Going to try to make it a double shot of Ethan here, getting in front of Chase.
Yeah, double Ethaning, as you might want to call it, or probably not, because that just sounds terrible, but we'll see what Burrell's able to do. As now Stanley has his sights set on the Matthew Weeks machine. You can see just up ahead right there, the number 11. Hashtag get Jippy with it, the JV Designs machine of Matthew Weeks. Of course, Jippy is Justin Vandermarl, driver not with us this week. He is currently on vacation.
Where's he at? Is he somewhere on the beach, or is he somewhere in?
Nah, he's in Europe right now. I forget where he went, but he was at.
I'm jealous.
He was at Portimao today, one of the new tracks on iRacing. Went and checked that out.
Oh, we got a wreck. Vincent Isabella's around on the front stretch.
You kind of expected it right from the start, Chris, right? On this latest restart, he was absolutely struggling with the handling of that race car. Let's see what happened. He's on the inside of Conan Jones here. Ooh, looks like he's going to get into the side of Conan Jones, go around, hit the inside wall, and that's going to bring out caution number 2. Not sure if the 85 comes down or if it's just the 3 coming up into the side of that machine. We'll leave that call to race control, but caution number 2 is out here on the racetrack for Vincent Isabella in car number 3. The field works their way around here. 53 laps now in the books. I believe race control has just called that one a racing deal. Unfortunately there for those drivers. I believe Vincent Isabella does pick up a decent amount of damage. His car looks okay. Should be able to continue on in that JD Designs number 3. But once again, shout out to the folks at IndyCar1909.com for their support. IndyCar past, present, and future at IndyCar1909.com. And Chris Wright, are you back with us, my friend?
I am, and I
believe you were catching up with Scott Crump not too long ago. If you want to go ahead and have a word with him.
Yeah, I think Scott was wanting to talk to us here, or we were wanting to talk to him. A little bit of both, right? A little bit of both. All right, now we've got him. Now we've got Scott Crump here, driver of the number 90 Stay Tuned Sports Machine. Scott, you had a little bit of pit road trouble there, that first pit stop, but here you are back up in the top 5. Take us through your night. And how's that car driving? Because it looks like it's a blast to drive.
Yeah, it's driving all right. I adjusted a little too much on the brake bias, got a little too low. Definitely hurting me a little bit. I think definitely in turn 1 and 2. I get in there, I just can't get in there like everybody else and get to accelerate off like everybody. But 3 and 4, I'm a little faster than everybody, so it might make up itself. But yeah, I just need the long runs and try and maintain position here on the shorter runs.
Yeah, and we're seeing some guys really experiment with some different lines. Do you think there's a lot of grip up the track, specifically in 3 and 4, or are they burning their tires up doing that?
It's a little bit of grip up there. It's a little bit smoother exit, more speed on the exit. You try and hold that bottom, you get a little loose on the exit. Sometimes you come across that seam just wrong.
Well, what do you need to go get Chase? You just need a long run. You're going to need some kind of caution to fall right, maybe some strategy, some 2 tires.
To be able to adjust my brakes a lot more than what I can under pits.
Well, all right, Robert, you got anything here for Scott under this caution?
No, not really. Nothing here for Scott. Scott, best of luck on this upcoming restart. Still a long way to go, and I have a feeling we're going to be talking to you at the end of this one.
Yeah, hopefully. Definitely going to need the long runs here because everybody's pretty even. Shorter runs.
Well, all right, talk to us about Stay Tuned Sports for a second here. You guys coming to one to go?
Stay Tuned Sports. Jim Cashline goes over all the sports, baseball, football. Football's his favorite. So, yeah, just usually talking about what's going on the field and stuff like that. So.
All right, Scott, good luck here and give us a good show. Take it up there to those boys. It's going to have to go up there and get Weeks and get Chase.
All right, thank you.
That was Scott Crump out there in position number 5. Chris Wright as Matthew Weeks and Ethan Stanley going to take control of the front row here. Ethan Burrell, Chase Cabery, Scott Crump, Tyler Popp, Gerald Campbell, Nick Massey, David Tooker, and Tommy Ryan round out the top 10 as we get set to go green once again here in just a moment's time. The drivers working their way down the back straightaway, headed for turn number 3. The pace car driver, Fred, about to head back to pit road, and we're going to set the field loose once again. The JV Designs number 11 about to hit that loud pedal. He's ready to go. Are you ready to go, Chris Wright?
I'm always ready.
Let's get it. Here we go as we head for the restart zone. We are green once again here in the IndyCar1909.com 125.
Yeah, pretty good start up there at the front, too. Chase all of a sudden found himself back to fourth.
Yeah, Chase Cabre, not the greatest of restarts as he does fall back a couple of positions. He's going to be under fire here from Scott Crump and Tyler Popp. Again, Chris, we said this last week. I'm going to say it again. Tyler Popp has really come alive these last couple of weeks, last couple of months here in the Elite Racing League. Doing a nice job just consistently finding himself in a good position as that good position nearly went away as Scott Crump got real close to that left rear.
Yeah, almost turned in there a little bit too soon. You know, it's like I said, though, Tyler Popp is a guy that has, you know, it's not just about having speed. You have to learn to race at the front. It's a whole different kind of racing up in the top 10 versus 25th.
You're exactly right on that. As you see Scott Crump taking a look down to the inside. Here comes Gerald Campbell taking a peek to the outside of Scott Crump. So this battle definitely picking up a little bit here behind the Tyler Popp machine. He continues to hold steady in position number 5. Chase Cabre just ahead of him here as the side-by-side battles on between Scott Crump and Gerald Campbell. Campbell going to slot back in just between Crump and Tooker as Tooker taking a peek, not going to be able to do anything this time as Gerald Campbell kind of getting sandwiched a little bit right there, Chris.
Yeah, but I hear Gerald likes to be in the middle. He very much enjoys that spot, so it's working out for him, having Tooker right behind, right up there inside of Scott a little bit. Tell you what, back behind him, I know we've talked about him a little bit, and he just keeps getting closer and closer. Yeah, there he is. It's that Tate Lytle machine. He's found himself a way around Jeff Green. Now he's going after
this is going to be harder. This will be harder right here as he's going to battle it out like a big old
and he's in the wall.
Yeah, Chad didn't give him too much room there on the racetrack. So we'll see what Tate Lytle does to try to get that back. Chad doesn't have to give him room, and he's in a battle of his own, of course.
That was pretty brazen of Tate to think that he could drive up onto the right rear for that from there.
I think Gerald might have just had a moment of his own up there with the Scott Crump machine. We're going to watch this battle between Nick Massey and Chad Frankenfield from on board here with Tate Lytle. Lytle now going to go the outside of the Nick Massey machine. He's trying to get up there to Chad Frankenfield. That was quite the dive. Wow. As Tate goes to the outside of Nick Massey, his sights are set on Chad Frankenfield, who now moves into the top 10. Tate's not going to give up until he gets by that 15.
Yeah, Tate's got a lot of speed.
He's hungry.
Like get trapped on the bottom, you're backing up. As Nick's still backing up here. Jeff Green trying to find a way by. Tate all over the back of Scott Crump right now.
All over the back of Chad Frankenfield, actually, but I get what you mean.
Oh, I'm sorry. He's all over the back of somebody.
Same difference, right?
Look at that 15. Always, did he get there? I think.
Almost.
Nope. Needing that rear grip there. Just needs a little bit more rear grip.
Yeah, these guys duking it out here. Just got to halfway. Matthew Weeks going to pick up that playoff point as Tate Lytle takes to the outside once again of Chad Frankenfield. Not able to get there. Is he going to look for maybe an opportunity to do a little bit of a crossover down to the inside? Don't think he can get there quite yet as Jeff Green going to enter that shot as well in the number 2 Turner Ice Center machine. Shout out to those folks over at Turner.
Yeah, Jeff having him a great run. So is Tommy there. Johnny Thomas coming back up into the picture.
This might be Tate's best shot at it right here, Chris. Got his nose to the inside of Chad, and just as quickly as I say it's a good shot, well, that shot goes out the window. Is Tate going to take another peek here to the inside of Chad? Something tells me, Chris, and I don't know if you're getting the same feeling, but this pass is either going to be completed in the next couple of laps, or we're going to see that 15 sideways on the racetrack.
Yeah, it's great battles out here. I mean, Tate's trying to work him over.
I'm just feeling the intensity starting to pick up in that battle, and the bumper might come into play just a little bit, either intentionally or not intentionally. But either way, I think the 15 is going to be the one to lose out in this one.
So Tate's kind of where he was that first run, just way up the road a little bit further, kind of stuck, can't pass, which is something I'm seeing a lot of these guys are struggling with, getting up off the corner underneath somebody. So we will see what Chase can do from fourth there. He was the guy. Now I don't know if he's saving a little bit of tire, doing a little something different. Not sure what the plan is here. But this field is pretty much single filed out all the way back through them.
Yeah, I mean, taking a look through the back, pretty much everybody actually in the entire field, single file, not seeing too much too wide action whatsoever. Looks like a Leighton Norgard gonna take a gander to the inside of Conan Jones. Ty McIntosh gonna full send it into the outside of a Leighton Norgard there. Those Shifty Sports guys, the aggression levels have hit the roof a little bit here so far. We'll see what happens with that 75 and the 25 there behind a Leighton Norgard. See Conan Jones trying to get by Johnny Thomas. Another battle. Well, this one just continues. It's Tate Lytle and Jeff Green now as Chad Frankenfield starting to pull away just a little bit. And up towards the front as well, Gerald Campbell looking like he's trying to make a move. Actually, no, he's trying to hold off David Tooker. Scott Crump tries to make a move on Tyler Pop for position number 5.
Yeah, it's a whole lot of trying, though, and nothing really happening. We'll have to see what they can do as the run wears on. You know, we still have a lot of laps left. If it stays green, they can all make it on fuel to the end of this race. But it would be right at the end of a fuel run. They would be within about 5 to 10 laps of half in the pit, so it would be a full run on tires.
You know, a word that you mentioned right there, Chris, you said wear. And tire wear is going to come into play on this particular run. Everyone's just pushing it a little bit harder. Speaking of push, Johnny Thomas just got a push into the corner from a Leighton Norgard. Now he's getting hit by Conan Jones as a Leighton Norgard and Ty McIntosh coming together. These guys are pushing it exceptionally hard here, and all that is doing is wearing those tires out at this point. Yes, a lot of fuel still left, but these guys not leaving much rubber left on the rim.
Yeah, and they're trying to pass, and when you get into a spot where you can't make a pass and everybody's kind of lined up, you start getting a little physical. And they tried to get physical with old JT out there, and he is not standing for it. He's going to fight him off.
Johnny Thomas not one to really stand for drivers trying to bully him on the racetrack, per se. You know, it's not really his thing. But I'm seeing a tight battle right here. Crump and Pop just continuing. It's about a 1/10 of a second separating these guys. So that's going to be the battle that we'll hone in on here for the time being. So we continue to monitor all the battles throughout the racetrack.
Yeah, and Johnny's one of the nicest guys you'll ever race with.
Oh, absolutely.
He's super nice. Nobody wants to bully him. I don't think anybody's got any issues with Johnny, but he is.
I'm gonna steal his animal
one of the
crackers.
nicest guys. And maybe the guy over in Europe this week. There might be something there between him and Johnny. That's about it.
Guy in Europe.
Yeah, Justin.
Oh, yeah, we saw that heat up a little bit between those guys. Justin, if you're watching, I don't know what time it is there. It might be middle of the night. If you're tuned in, let us know. How much do you love Johnny Thomas?
As you see, here goes Scott once again trying to pull up underneath Tyler. Oh, he sends it. Full send. Full send. Oh.
Oh, man.
Didn't quite get clear.
Well, we wanted to talk to him later, but
Hey,
he might change that a little bit with what happens here. But yeah, Crump up to position number 5 here now.
Gotta send it.
Uh-oh, Jesse. Oh!
Oh, we got a car upside down.
How? How did Jesse just flip that race car? What in the world? Jesse, we will ride on board with this in a moment. Jesse just loses it again. That will be his second tally of the day, so I think he's done no matter what. But I think the car committed to being done for the day not too long ago. Let's ride on board with Jesse Racimus, though, folks. We are fixing to go up and over here momentarily. And that's what just happened to Jesse Racimus right there. Caution number 3 of the day, second one for the 70 of Jesse Racimus. And Chris, I'm going to expect pit road to be absolutely flooded right here. And it is. Everybody's coming down. You know what that means? This is our chance to step away real quick. When we come back, we'll take you through the middle stages of the IndyCar1909.com 125. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head to head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
The NASCAR Cup Series returns to Worldwide Technology Raceway on June 1st and 2nd, 2024. The time to get your tickets is now. For only $10 down, you can lock in your seats for an incredible weekend of family fun, featuring the Enjoy Illinois 300 and the Confluence Music Festival. Racing, music, camping, it all adds up to one amazing party. Go to www.raceway.com for the hottest ticket of the year.
And we are back here, Chris Wright. Matthew Weeks does continue to lead in the IndyCar1909.com 125. Again, IndyCar1909.com, IndyCar past, present, and future. Shout out to those guys for their continuous support here of Elite. Always sponsoring races, getting involved in all the big series. Glad to have them here. We couldn't do this without the fine folks like those over at IndyCar1909.com. But again, it's Matthew Weeks, Ethan Stanley, Scott Crump, Jeff Green, and Chase Cabry up there in the top 5.
Did you hear that new name you just mentioned? 2 right side tires for that number 2 machine.
Yeah, old Jefe Verde looking to turn himself into Jefe Checkers here a little bit later on.
There is some talk about how that thing's going to drive on 2 tires. So this is going to be he's the guinea pig for everybody else. We'll see what happens.
As you see Fred return to pit road, the green flag returns to the sky. We are back underway, and it's Matthew Weeks out front. We're going to keep our eye. Oh, Jeff Green around. 2 tires, no good.
And that's
Cautions out once again. Green and Pop gonna go for a ride here. Unfortunately for Tyler Pop, gonna get collected by those 2 tires. That just did not work out for Jeff Green. Chase Cabre gonna get a piece of that as well. Jeff Green gets the wall. Tyler Pop looks like he'll be okay. Unfortunately for those guys, though, they're gonna have a lot of work to do to get caught up from the rear end.
Well, you hate to see that. I think Chase is fine. That's Haley Deegan's significant other there. I think he's all right. Still got plenty of race car left to bring that trophy
Two-time
back.
NASCAR K&N Series winner Chase Cabre, of course, in the Speed Factor 39.
Taking a look there at Weeks, currently sitting in the lead.
Yeah, Matthew Weeks out front there, Ethan Stanley, Scott Crump, Gerald Campbell, and Chase Cabre in the top 5. Another new name up here, Tommy Ryan in 6th. That's Ethan Burrell 7th, and well, look who it is. He's like a mosquito here tonight, Chris Wright. Tate Lytle just doesn't go away. Up to 8th. David Tooker 9th. And Chad Frankenfield round out the top 10 here on lap number 84. Caution number 4.
Further up towards the front.
I'd like to. Me and Dewar are trying to save a little tire, but every time we get to the point where that becomes an advantage, we get a yellow. So it's kind of the gamble you play playing that game. But we're getting to crunch time. We'll see what this old Miss Goodies Chevrolet Camaro's got.
Well, I think it's time to quit saving tire and put that thing up to the front here. We want to see that thing in victory lane. What's it going to take to make that happen?
A lot more guys like Jeff taking 2 tires and Brecken. I don't know. I don't know if I have got anything for victory lane, but definitely I think a top 15 is possible.
And the car's clean, right? That's good. How's the track out there? How are you guys able to move around and run those different lines?
I think it's pretty good. You know, I've always been a big fan of this old Phoenix. It's taken a little while to get used to it. It's been so long since we've run it, but I like how you can, you know, even in turns 1 and 2, you can, if you drift a little high, you can make that outside line work pretty good.
Well, let me tell you, man, I don't think taking 2 tires is what got Jeff in trouble. I think there was a little bit of water on the racetrack, so if we get another caution and everybody takes 4 out, why don't you go ahead and throw 2 tires on that Mrs. Goodies machine there? What do you think?
Hey, you never know, man. Might as well, you know, we might be at the point where we roll the dice a little bit.
Well, all right. Before we let you jump out of here and get ready to go again, tell us a little bit about that sponsor on the car.
Oh, you know, Miss Goodies. It's my mom's world's famous hooded towels. Go check her out on Facebook at Miss Goodies. Also got to give a shout out to old JD of JD's Hilltop Salvage. Hope he's watching tonight and having a good time. Look for that 32 and 44 to go to the front.
Well, all right. Good luck, Goody. We look forward to seeing you get up there in that top 3 and come back and talk to us in a little bit.
All right, sounds good.
As we get set to go green once again here, Chris Wright, it continues to be Matthew Weeks and Ethan Stanley out front, as Fred, the pace car driver, going to make his way down pit road to set us free once again. Let's get going here at Phoenix.
Yep, let's get going. He's picked the top. I'm going to tell you, Chase is going to have to get a little bit more aggressive. He keeps getting stuck on the bottom on these restarts, and he's giving up a row every time.
So you see the field cycle on through turns 1 and 2.
Oh, Scott Crump.
Oh, Scrumpy! He's
Big
able to
save.
save it, but he's going to lose it all the way back to 23rd. There goes Goody. Goody said he was going to be competing with these guys, and he just passed Scott Crump.
Yeah, and we'll see right here. Oh, Gerald Campbell got loose, got into Scott. So that's
As you see,
unfortunate.
Gerald under pressure here from Tommy Ryan. They're going to be side by side for that 3rd spot on the racetrack. Ryan up to 3rd. Campbell there in 4th. Very tight as Tommy Ryan pushes his way up the racetrack. Condon Jones goes around, and we're under caution once again. We'll take a look at this one on the Rebilas photography replay machine. See what just happened to the 85 of Condon Jones. Gets a little bit loose, comes up into the side of Dustin Dewar, then just battles the steering wheel for a while, goes for a spin, and that'll bring out caution number 5.
Yeah, and actually, that looks like there was some net code. There wasn't even contact. So.
Yeah, I would say either netcode or just fully on the 85. And that one, he got a little bit sideways and then just battled the steering wheel to save that car, leading to the spin. But no big issues there. Everyone able to continue on. We're going to step away once again. We'll be right back at the IndyCar1909.com 125. Don't go anywhere.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
The NASCAR Cup Series returns to Worldwide Technology Raceway on June 1st and 2nd, 2024. The time to get your tickets is now. For only $10 down, you can lock in your seats for an incredible weekend of family fun, featuring the Enjoy Illinois 300 and the Confluence Music Festival. Racing, music, camping, it all adds up to one amazing party. Go to www.raceway.com for the hottest ticket of the year.
Well, Chris Wright, we are back here at Legacy Phoenix. It's IndyCar1909.com 125. IndyCar past, present, and future at IndyCar1909.com.
I gotta say, the fans are out in full force. Rattlesnake Hill's booked out here to this race today. Grandstands are packed.
Look at the campers, man. That's a lot of campers down there.
Yeah,
all the
everybody's
RVs
perfectly
hanging
parked
out.
for the most part too.
Yeah, I mean, Phoenix here has some great staff that parks those vehicles for us and make sure everyone is in line. And speaking of in line, everyone is in two lines now. We are double file, getting set to go green once again here. Just over 30 laps to go. And it's been a good mix of drivers up towards the front. One driver, though, that's got a little bit of work to do now is Chase Cabry back in that 5th spot. And he's just ahead of Chad Frankenfield, who is very, very likely to throw it 3 wide on him on this restart, Chris.
Yeah, I'm going to use a DBD term here. I play a lot of Dead by Daylight. I'm going to wonder right now if Chase is a knower here about Chad and his 3 wide antics.
Oh, he's a knower, that's for sure. And speaking of knowers, we got the green flag in the air, and we knew it was coming. And, well, it's actually going to be Chase that's going to go the inside 3 wide. He'll take it to the inside of Gerald Campbell, Ethan Burrell on the high side. Here comes Chad all over the rear end of Chase Cabry here. See what those guys are able to do, but out in front it's Matthew Weeks clearing Ethan Stanley. Hunter Smith losing some spots back here, but yeah, Tommy Ryan having himself a day up here in 3rd.
Oh, back in the field, Whoa, we're
Dave
on the
Carpenter.
Front.
Oh no, he ate his Cheeties, and that sent him around into the wall. Looks like Jaden Racimus and Jake Connor involved in something as well. I don't believe it was this. As we watch here, maybe it was. Yeah, Jake Connor and Dave Carpenter come together. Oh, Connor Thompson involved, Jay Connor, Jaden Racimus. Let's watch this, see what happened to Jaden Racimus. Obviously, we saw it a little bit further back, but this is going to be a big one here for Jaden. Just tail whipped. Tail whipped from behind. Connor Thompson involved as well. Wow. That's a big impact, actually, for Connor Thompson to bring out caution number 6 of the day. With 30 to go, it's Weeks, Stanley, Ryan, Campbell, Burrell, Tooker, Cabry, Lytle, Frankenfield, and McIntosh, the top 10. Chris Wright, let's get another interview in here. See if we can talk to the driver of the number 12, Leighton Norgard. Leighton, it's Robert and Chris up in the booth. You get a copy?
Yep, sure do, Robert.
You said we never talked to you in these races. You're currently up there running in position number 15. What more do you need to get up there and battle for a top 10 or top 5 position?
I need someone in the top 14 to get an EOL so I can restart on the outside, because the inside is doing nothing but costing positions on those restarts.
Well, we've seen a couple guys force 3 wide as soon as the green flag drops. Is maybe that's something that you're going to explore here with less than 30 laps to go?
I mean, I'm running out of time to do something, so I might have to. I don't want to, but run out of time.
And just before we get to your final shout-outs here, how's the car feeling so far? What's the biggest challenge that you faced here today?
Car doesn't feel too bad. The biggest thing is that I'm rolling the corner a lot, and people behind me aren't so much, so I'm always afraid that I'm about to get punted mid-corner.
Well, you definitely don't want to get punted, so keep doing what you're doing out there, Leighton, and keep charging up towards the front. See if we can get you up there into the top 10 before the end of this one. But before we get you back down to your team channel, any shout-outs you want to give or sponsors you want to thank for making this happen?
Just my teammates, Andrew and Brent, running with me tonight. The rest of them are kind of losers for ditching us on Mondays, but...
Yeah, that Corey Abbott guy and William White, those guys, big pains in the butt, that's for sure. We'll get you back down there, Leighton. Best of luck to you.
Thank you, sir.
That was a Leighton Norgard, driver of the number 12, Tanks.gg, number 12 for Abbott Motorsports. Chris Wright.
We got a car driving through the grass here.
Who's doing that now?
Ethan Burrell just cut the dog leg. I don't know.
Well, let's take a little peek.
Not sure what happened here. Yeah, not sure.
Yeah, it looked like he just wanted to get down there and say hello to the grass, I guess. Not sure what he was up to there, but he's still up there inside the top 5, so we'll see what he can do. Just a little bit of extra grass on the tires. That's about it.
I know we just talked to a Leighton, but I've had some good battles on the racetrack with that guy. And Dover in the Truck Series last season comes to mind, where he and I ran side by side for about 90% of that race. It was a great battle. We raced really hard, really close, and I don't think we ever made contact once. You remember that. You remember that as well as you remember the guys who got into you who you can't race.
Yeah, we'll see what happens here on this restart. But like you mentioned, Leighton Norgard, a very solid driver and a very good dude. Like, obviously, he's a teammate of mine. Have a good time racing with him each and every week. And I would just love to see him get up there and get a victory soon. Hopefully that's coming up in the next couple of weeks for Leighton. But what's coming up now is a green flag, and the green flag is out. It's Matthew Weeks, and a great jump behind him from Gerald Campbell.
Yeah, going to pull Gerald up through there. Gerald turns down in. He's going to run that second lane. Ethan Stanley's going to get loose. Oh, we're wrecking in the back of the field. Jeff Ryan.
Jeff Ryan goes around. Caution number 7. Pop into Goody, and it sends Ryan around. Conan Jones gets collected as well. So under caution once again, Chris Wright.
Yeah, and race control might send shockwaves with this call. We'll see. This won't go over well, but we're going to do it.
Race control issuing a tally to the 13, a Tyler Pop on that one. Caution number 7 of the day is Tommy Ryan going to hit pit road from the top 5. Now, Chris Wright, I'm going to give you the floor. Once again, if you want to go ahead and pull a driver in, have a quick chat with them, see how they're feeling about this one so far.
Well, let's see. Who do we want to talk to? Yeah, I don't want to talk to Gerald. I talk to Gerald all the time.
All right, we won't talk with Gerald. Is anyone from Shift Esports hanging out here in Discord tonight?
I don't know, but I got us a guy here.
All right, floor is yours.
Yeah, here's our guy right here. We got Johnny Thomas here.
Oh, yes.
Having a great night tonight, Johnny, since that guy you're having all those issues with went to Europe and isn't here tonight. So talk to us about your night and how clean it is.
Why are you guys interviewing me? I'm in 11th.
We're interviewing everybody, Johnny. Don't you?
Actually, you're in 10th, Johnny Thomas. Welcome to the top 10.
Yes, finally. Yeah, we're having a pretty good night. I'm really struggling on the long runs. I don't know what it is with these B cars, but as far as tire conservation, I'm rough, man. I feel like the next gen is. I'm really good at saving tires, and then I get in these B cars and I'm lost. But short run speed is what you need right now, and I think I got that. I think I'm going to be, thanks to Robert informing me that, I'm going to be on the top row, so that's good. But yeah, we're having fun. I like Old Phoenix.
Yeah, how's the car driving out there? Everybody looks like they're really struggling for grip, and it's kind of a throwback to what we used to do here.
It's a fine line. I've been riding in 4th gear most of the time. A lot of the guys are shifting into 3, and I think, whoops, I almost hit Ty. Some guys are shifting into 3, and I think it all depends on when you start that process, on when you start burning up your right rear. I cannot keep the right rear on me. It's cool because we never, face that anymore. So it's a cool challenge. Just got to relearn it. I wish I had, 100, 150 more laps.
150 more laps. I don't know how many people would say that, but how do you like this version of Phoenix compared to the new version? No dogleg here, and some guys don't like this version.
Yeah, I like the version. The dogleg is wild, and the new style. But to be honest, I don't really mind either. There's less dive bombing in this style of the track because you don't have guys going all the way down, 15 lanes to the bottom trying to make turn 1. This has a little bit more of a confined zone, but yeah, it's not bad.
All right, Johnny, good luck here the rest of the race. Hopefully you can dodge all the chaos. Talk to us a little bit about Belly Up Sports here real quick before we put you back.
Yeah, quick shout out. I know Belly Up ran the Cup race last week on the Belly Up Sports channel, but look for them on all the podcasts. Follow bellyupsports.com to get all the info you need.
Well, that was old JT there as they get ready to go green.
You just
Johnny
call
up
him
here in the
old?
top 10. Well, I just meant old JT. I didn't mean I didn't mean old specifically.
Oh,
I think the
man,
green's coming
Johnny.
out.
Yeah, green flag is back out. 22 laps to go. Matthew Weeks and Gerald Campbell up here. Oh, Gerald's going to take a deep dive. He's getting aggressive here. The aggressive Eagle soaring into the back of the Matthew Weeks machine as David Tooker going to work his way up into position number 2. Here comes Ethan Stanley on the inside of Gerald Campbell. Take Lytle up on the high side. Are we going to go 3 wide? Potentially as contact there between Campbell and Stanley. Campbell gets turned by Lytle. Stanley around. Big junk. Big junk. Like the damn junkyard right here.
Accident. Oh my goodness. We're going to have to talk to Johnny again.
Holy helations right here. Everybody involved. Chris, it's going to be easier to say who wasn't involved in this one. Wow.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Wow. This is absolutely crazy right now. Like, they are still trying to exit that wreck here, Chris. Oh my gosh. that all started with Tate Lytle getting into the back of Gerald Campbell and sending him around. Let's take a look and see what just happened. Ooh.
Oh my goodness.
Take a look and see what just happened. Oh. I don't even know how we're going to see all this. Let's go to the blimp. Yeah. Look at this. Just everybody getting involved. That's a big one right there. We're going to step away. We'll be right back.
The NASCAR Cup Series returns to Worldwide Technology Raceway on June 1st and 2nd, 2024. The time to get your tickets is now. For only $10 down, you can lock in your seats for an incredible weekend of family fun, featuring the Enjoy Illinois 300 and the Confluence Music Festival. Racing, music, camping, it all adds up to one amazing party. Go to www.raceway.com for the hottest ticket of the year.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head to head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series in officially licensed cars engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
And we are back here, and folks at home, we got beef. Gerald Campbell, Tate Lytle, not doing too good there together, Chris Wright. And
we got more than beef. We got the whole farm.
We got some beef, that's for sure, and more. As Matthew Weeks gets out to the race lead, it's just a grab bag of who's up front at this point. Weeks, Tooker, Dewar, Thomas, Rawls, Massey, Smith, Hosick, Pop, Brent Jones in the top 10 at this point in the race.
Oh, something happened here to Dusty.
Yeah, he's damaged. He's just trying to keep that car moving in the right direction. Oh my, what in the world, man? Drivers currently a lap or more down. Burrell, Lytle, Thompson, Connor, Green, Racimus, Isabella, Higgins. Those guys all a lap or more down. As we see Dusty Dewar just absolutely struggling back here. He's going to be pressured by Brent Jones. Somebody looked like they were blowing up there briefly, but looks like they will be A-OK. Tommy Ryan on new tires going to battle back up here towards the top 10 as Conan Jones gets a little bit sideways. Tommy Ryan into the side of Dustin Dewar. That's Michael Hosick battling there with Josh Robin, Chad Frankfield way at the back with Chase Cabry. Those guys duking it out, but your top three right now, Matthew Weeks, David Tooker, and Johnny Thomas. The top three with Nick Massey and Seth Rawls just behind them as Rawls gonna try to hold off Tyler Popp and Hunter Smith right now.
Tell you what, if Johnny gets up there and has a way to win this race, we're going to be pretty popular amongst people wanting to talk to us next week.
Absolutely, absolutely. And man, that was a rough one right there. That was a big old wreck, that's for sure. Continuing to watch these guys here duking it out.
Yeah, a lot of these wrecked cars. Ethan Stanley's trying to come back forward. I mean, a lot of these guys, like you mentioned, Chad and Chase, a lot of heavy damage too. It'll be hard for them to come back forward. Oh, we got contact. Is that Zach Evans? Big save there.
That is indeed Zach Evans a little bit further back. He's trying to gather it back up in position number 19 currently. You see right there Jeff Ryan, Andrew McCall, and I believe that is Dusty Dewar up on the high side. Yes, it is. They're duking it out for positions, but it's Weeks out front of David Tooker here. They've got about second over Johnny Thomas, who has a bit of a gap over his Cup Series teammate Nick Massey in position number 4. Tyler Pop there in 5th as Josh Robin, Tommy Ryan, Hunter Smith, and Seth Rawls all duking it out for position here.
Yeah, and real quick, we're fastly approaching 10 laps to go here as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to go quicker when half the field just died a second ago, but...
well, they're still running. They're still out here. They're just a little bit slower.
Yeah, they're kind of like zombies at this point. Basically dead, just still making weird noises and moving along.
We're talking Tate Lytle, Ethan Burrell, Scott Crump, Gerald Campbell, Chase Cabre, Chad Frankenfield.
Lytle's out of this one, man. He's not here.
Yeah, all these guys.
I got a feeling though that this beast's not over. We're gonna see it hit the grill once again next week as we are 10 to go. It is Seth Rawls getting a little bit sideways right there with Hunter Smith going to his inside. Here comes Josh Robin and Tommy Ryan as well as Ryan going to slide by the inside of Hunter Smith here, trying to move himself up to that 6th spot. Hunter Smith into the side of Tommy Ryan. 9 laps to go now for Matthew Weeks. He's got his team in. Oh, behind him, Scott Crump going to be the latest caution here.
It looks like he blew up.
We're going to back this one up. Yeah, you can see it right there. So Crump blows up, but it's too late for him to get down to pit road. And that will bring the caution out once again. So Tally will be on the 90, of course, for being the cause of the caution. Just unfortunate, not much he could have done there. Chris, I'm going to give you the option here. Do you want to have a word with one more driver before the end of this one?
I think so. I think we got to bring him up.
Hit it.
We are now joined by Gerald Campbell. Gerald, you were having such a good night, and then you lost all that rear traction coming up off of 4. Tell us what happened.
Yeah, Tate just got a little bit too bugged out that I was up there. Tate has a complex that we've seen a couple times this year, and it just displays again this time around. Tate really does not like it when there's someone up front that he thinks that he should be faster than. And the most part, yeah, he's faster than me. But tonight I'm having a good race and no consideration at all there. Turns me and then blames me for the wreck, saying, well, you're too slow. And then his words, not mine, he just doesn't care. So I don't know. It's pathetic, really. You know, everyone wants to say Tate Lytle's this nice guy and that, you know, oh, well, who really dislikes him? I'm going to tell you one person that really dislikes him. That's going to be me from here on out, because that was just uncalled for what he did there. I know me and the 91 are racing hard next to each other and he's coming up on us, but you know, nobody else does something like that and then get pissed off with the person they've spun for that situation. So I don't know. Tate's gonna learn that, you know, sometimes it's nice. It's a smart thing to not piss off the midfield when you're going to have to drive through the midfield at some point.
So, are you saying there will be payback?
I'm not saying nothing. I'm not going to say nothing. I'm just saying it's just a situation that he did it to Goody. He's done it to a couple different guys. He just absolutely dumped me for no reason. I haven't had any issues with him, but it's just a proven case that Tate Lytle does not like it when he thinks that he's racing against people that are inferior, and he has an inferiority complex. He needs his big ego rubbed and massaged, and you know what? Sometimes a good rubbing is going to be a bump right in the ass, you know? So, we'll see.
So, will Tate have an opportunity to run the gauntlet this year?
He's already done the gauntlet.
Oh, he has. Okay.
And
Well, what about
in
the first
gauntlet,
episode of
I've
Elite
even
After
brought
Dark?
I've even brought up in the gauntlet his inability to be able to not control his anger or his inferiority-ness. And it's just a proven thing that it's just, he's done it multiple times. And this time he did it to a guy that's been in this series just as long as him. And I would say I command as much respect as him, considering the amount of times I've gotten into contact with him. So we got to restart. I know you guys have to get back up here, but yeah, needless to say, he left here all in a hussy, and big man walks out of room angry. So.
Well, all right, Jared, you got 10 seconds. Talk to us about the sponsor right here.
Stay tuned, sports, or the Simply Racing podcast. Come on to Thursday night, where I hope I don't talk about him as much as possible.
All right. Good luck the rest of this race, trail. Maybe you can salvage a good finish.
Thank.
That was Gerald. He had some words to say there. As you see, Matthew Weeks.
Oh, big wreck back in the
We're wrecking
field.
again. Oh, no, Gerald! Oh, Chad just backed up into Dave Carpenter right there. Pace car didn't even make it. Hi, Gerald.
It didn't work. I'm already involved, so I just want to let you know. Got another one.
What just happened right here?
Oh, Jaden Racimus. Looks like he loses it up ahead of Kyle Hanshaw. And that's going to lead to the wreck.
Yeah, big restart check up there.
See if we can take a look at that one. Jaden was hanging back a little bit. It all started as a stack up, but then he gets on it, hits the brakes, Hanshaw into the back of him. Then Carpenter, Campbell, McIntosh, and Blinkenfield get together. That's going to send Chad around. He's going to back into Dave Carpenter there, and then they'll continue on. But unfortunately for Gerald, involved in another one here. And Chris, I played this clip before. I'm going to play it again, courtesy of the redneck announcer, Jacob Reeves, one of my colleagues in broadcasting. We heard it from Gerald.
We got beef right here, Joe.
We got beef. And we're going to see it continue on next week as we're going to hit the green-white checkered overtime restarts here shortly. We got up to 3 of those. It's Matthew Weeks, David Tooker, Johnny Thomas, Tyler Pop, Nick Massey, Hunter Smith, Tommy Ryan, Josh Robin, Seth Rawls, and Conan Jones, the top 10. Chris, do we got a chance for one more interview here?
One more interview? I don't know, man.
Let's talk to this guy. He's just outside the top 10. Brent Jones. Hey, Brent, it's Robert and Chris up in the booth. You got a copy?
Sure thing, buddy.
Currently scored just outside the top 10 here in that 11 spot. What more do you need to get up there and steal yourself a top 10 position?
Just survival, man. I don't even know why I'm up here. I know I did some stupid stuff that both me and Jesse regret at the start right there, trying to get to the field there. But, man, I hate it. Partially was the reason why he's out of the race. But, man, also, holy crap, man. I just want something to go my way the last 2 laps.
Well, you made it through the big one that we had not too long ago. What are your thoughts on that one? And how in the world were you not heavily involved in that wreck?
Right place, right time. I saw what happened. I already topped off, and and that didn't top off. I decided to pit while I was in the back, and I was like, okay, we're gonna ride for a little bit. And then I saw it happen. I'm like, I'm just hoping no one hits me behind here. Good job by the field in the back by giving them their P's and Q's through all that for the most part.
Well, Brent, before we get you back down to the team, get you set up for the final, hopefully the final restart here. Probably won't be, but we hope it is. Who do you got to thank for making this happen for you? I know that car's pretty darn blank on that 49, but who helped support you and get you to the racetrack?
We're looking for sponsors and stuff for any way we can when we do show up the rest of the year, but I want to thank Luis Gonzalez Moe, been the bedrock to my side for the last year or so, couple years now. Kevin Grusing, a guy who I've been working with to make me a calmer guy behind the wheel. Abbott Motorsports, the boys, you know, and pretty much everybody at home for tuning in every week. You make this league happen with your viewership.
Well, we appreciate you having a chat with us here, Brent. Best of luck on what we hope to be the final restart here at Phoenix.
You're telling me.
Best of luck, buddy.
Cheers.
That
Hey,
was.
I got a story here for us, Robert.
Yeah,
Right here for you.
hit it, Chris. The floor is yours.
That 13 car is now going to be 4th, and he has a little bit fresher tires than everybody up here.
This could get interesting. Like you mentioned, the fresher tire is going to come into play. Not much fresher than that of Johnny Thomas, only 2 laps, but over the likes of, actually quite a bit fresher than Johnny Thomas. He last pit on 44. The top 3 all pit on 78, though, Chris, so we'll see how that works out for Tyler Popp here. Pace car's off. We're getting set to go green for what we hope is the final time. And Johnny Thomas with a big push on David Tooker, but Matthew Weeks out front.
Yeah, big block there by Tooker, not going to let Johnny get to his inside. That's going to get Nick Massey back up into 4th there with that Tyler Popp restart mess up.
Yeah, Massey.
And look at Johnny. Johnny's hunting for a way here.
He's trying. He is trying here. We'll see. If we get to the white flag this time, it'll just be 1 to go. No additional restarts, and it looks like it'll happen here. Matthew Weeks crosses the line. 1 to go for the number 11 machine. David Tooker in 2nd. Johnny Thomas there in 3rd. Will Tooker and Weeks battle it out for position, or will Tooker settle down? As I believe somebody just went for a big slide there. That is Tommy Ryan, but Matthew Weeks and David Tooker are going to duke it out for the final time on for turn number 4. Checkered flag goes to Matthew Weeks. Weeks, Tooker, Thomas, the top 3, with Nick Massey and Tyler Popp rounding out the top 5. Hunter Smith, Josh Robbins, Seth Rawls, Brent Jones, and Kynan Jones, the top 10 as they wreck again. It's telling me Jesse Racimus was involved, but he is well done for the day.
Oh, that started around Goody, I think.
As this one ends, Matthew Weeks will come around to celebrate after picking up yet another victory here in the Rebilas Photography Grand National Series. It's time for Weeks to burn it down. And as he burns it down, Chris Wright will step away for the final time. When we come back, we'll go over the results and talk to your top 3 podium finishers. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head to head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
The NASCAR Cup Series returns to Worldwide Technology Raceway on June 1st and 2nd, 2024. The time to get your tickets is now. For only $10 down, you can lock in your seats for an incredible weekend of family fun, featuring the Enjoy Illinois 300 and the Confluence Music Festival. Racing, music, camping, it all adds up to one amazing party. Go to www.raceway.com for the hottest ticket of the year.
And we are back here at Phoenix, just wrapping up this one, and it's Matthew Weeks taking home the victory ahead of David Tooker and Johnny Thomas as we go through the final results here today. Weeks, Tooker, Thomas, the top three, with Nick Massey and Tyler Pop rounding out the top five. Hunter Smith with a solid run there in that sixth spot. Josh Robin comes home seventh. Seth Rawls in eighth. Brent Jones in ninth, and Conan Jones rounds out the top 10. 11th tonight is going to go to a Leighton Norgard with Michael Hosick in 12th. Ethan Stanley 13th after rebounding from numerous incidents tonight. Michael Goodman 14th. Andrew Hardcastle in 15th. Zach Evans finishes 16th. Solid run for the Me Fine car. Tommy Ryan in 17th. Kyle Hanshaw, Mark Rebilas, and Andrew McCall round out the top 20. As we continue to look our way through the results here tonight, you can see right there, Jaden Racimus brings it home 21st. Ethan Burrell going to bring it home 22nd. Ty McIntosh 23rd. Jeff Ryan 24th. Chad Frankenfield, after getting involved in the big one, comes home 25th. Joe Campbell, after being one of the main players in the big one, comes home 26th. Chase Cabery 27th. Dustin Doer, Dave Carpenter, and Scott Crump round out the top 30, with the rest of your field being Tate Lytle, Jay Connor, Connor Thompson, Jeff Green, Jesse Racimus, Vincent Isabella, and Gavin Higgins. Chris Wright, why don't we go ahead and bring them in now? We'll go ahead and start with the race winner, Matthew Weeks, and he's going to be standing by with you.
Yeah, I'm standing here with race winner Matthew Weeks. It looked like it was going to be a night where everybody was going to chase once again. And then you got the better of him on pit road. Great pit work down there by the guys. Then from there, you were out front when the pile up happened. Take us through your night. And how nervous were you there on that last lap with Tooker right behind you?
Let's say it was a good night. I know in practice I was like I didn't want to race because Chase was a couple tenths faster than everybody. And then I figured it out, and then that first run I know he started pulling on me, but I kind of figured out how he was driving. So after that pit stop that we had under caution and I took the lead, I was trying to mimic what he was doing on that run, especially with, I think it was Stanley putting pressure there too. And then yeah, I was nervous because Tooker's really good on the restart, so I muted I deafened in Discord, muted the race chat, and I was just going randomly in there. But I'm glad to finally win. It's been a while in this series.
Well, what did you think of the racing and the way the line moved tonight there when you got a chance to race? And obviously, we got that caution, and then those last 40, 45 laps were kind of hectic. And how much of that big wreck were you able to see?
I think the setup that was made, it was awesome, dude. I really enjoyed it. You could really run it two different ways and really be fast, what I found out. And that wreck was crazy. I mean, I looked in my mirror and I seen just a couple, some cars spinning, and then I looked at my track map and I seen like probably 15 dots on the front stretch just stopped. I'm just glad I wasn't in it.
Well, and before we let you go here, we'll give you a chance to shout out your sponsors and, of course, talk to us a little bit about Wednesday and the start of the season that you're having here. You're on a fire this season, and, we go to a road course there on Wednesday in the Cup Series, then we get ready for that big event next week. So how are you going to bring home some more work, some more trophies?
Well, I don't know how I just feel so much better. I mean, in the off season, I upgraded my wheel, and I think that really helped where I can actually feel the bumps in the track and kind of understand how the car is feeling a lot more now. And I think that's really helped so much. And then I enjoy the next gen car. I'm probably going to suck Wednesday night at the road course, but I'm looking forward to the 600. That's one of my favorite races, the longest race, and I always have speed, but we tend to have bad luck there. But I'm looking forward to it, and hopefully we can win it because I don't think no one's won all three crown jewels. So that is my goal, is to do that, to be the first to do that. And Shout out to JV Designs on the scheme. Justin wasn't able to watch because he's on vacation. So huge props to him on making all my schemes. All the Pro Edge guys, we were fast tonight. I know some of us got into some bad luck later. Tucker, he put some pressure on me late. I'm glad we didn't lose the win on one of that. And shout out to Betty, who's over there watching at Ethan. She watches all the races, so she's a big fan of the Pro Edge guys. You guys in the booth, Chad, all the I would say Fueled Up, but they don't race tonight. And then everyone that watched it, and thanks to John on this setup. The setup was awesome. It was really fun to drive, so shout out to him too.
All right, that's race winner Matthew Weeks, who continues his stellar start to the season here and gets to take home another trophy. And he's already looking forward to next week, trying to get some more hardware.
What is that? New Hampshire?
Next week?
Yes, sir. New Hampshire.
Oh, let's go! I love a flat track there. Let's go.
And that was Matthew Weeks, your race winner. Now I'm standing by with David Tooker. David, you came home just a little bit short to your teammate Matthew Weeks tonight. What more did you need to get it done?
I think we honestly just needed some more green flag laps. I knew it was going to come down to restarts, and Weeks was giving us the call pretty in those last 20 laps or so, but right around 10 to go, he stopped calling it, which is fair. We're racing for a win. At the end of the day, we're racing for a win and a playoff spot. So I know he wanted that just as badly as I did. But, I really wanted that little short run that we had there from 100 to 112, I think what it was, to go green. I definitely feel like we had the pace on the long run, especially with the line I was running through 2. I was able to get a good exit speed on the way out and carry that speed to 3. But I just had to get my restarts down, and on that last one especially, I think I went a little early, which kind of signaled him to go. Basically, I lifted out at that point, trying not to beat him to the line, and he got the good run coming off of the restart. So, as much as we want to win, I'm glad to see a teammate win, and couldn't be happier to finish second.
Now, obviously for you, this is your second runner-up finish of the season. How close do you feel like you are to getting that breakthrough win in 2024A? And how good do you feel about your chances heading into New Hampshire next week?
I do feel like we're really close. I feel like we've had a lot of speed. And not so much winning speed. I think we've definitely had some top 5 to top 10 speed. Just luck really hasn't fell our way towards the end of the races, but this time it finally did. Getting trapped on the bottom on those restarts definitely held us back a little bit, but finally got some restarts on the top line and were able to clear to second, which was exactly what we needed to put ourselves in position for it. But I feel great about New Hampshire. I think that's actually my last B car win. I can't remember what season that was. I think that was 22B, but that was my last win in this car, and that's one of my favorite tracks. A lot of trail braking, which is what I love. I think that's what really kept me in it tonight, was just the fact how much brake we were using. So going to that track makes me feel good. I definitely have a lot of speed and confidence there, so I'm definitely looking forward to New Hampshire. Hopefully that's the breakout one for me.
I definitely feel like you are close to getting a victory. And David, before we get to your final shout outs, of course, those that tune in to ERN have heard us talking about some of your real world racing activities. What's next on the agenda for you, and when can we see you back on the racetrack?
Robert, I really do appreciate you highlighting that. We're doing great over on the Mazda Spec MX-5 series. Just got our first win of the Hoosier Tour out at Button Willow. Down near LA, which couldn't be a better start to the year. Got a third and a first that weekend. We're running with the team Hague Performance. They've given me a great car to go out there and compete with every single time we go out there and race. So it's just me having to perform. Really, I have a team that believes in me, and when you have that combination of a good car and a good team, you feel like you can do anything. So feeling good with those guys, but our next race is actually going to be in Portland in May, so I'll be hanging out with Burrell and a couple of other friends up there for the weekend and also during the week too. So it'll be just a fun weekend with my boys, and looking forward to also doing some racing behind the wheel up there as well.
Well, we can't wait to see that one. Of course, I do believe all the races are streamed over on YouTube. So as soon as we do have the link to that, we'll share it over on the ERN socials so you can check that out. But David, before we let you go here today, any shout outs you want to give or sponsors you want to thank for making this happen?
Yeah, everyone that's involved with Elite, Mark Rebilas has stepped up a lot with his photography gig sponsoring this series, and it's been a great pleasure to have him on board and support this series, as well as Worldwide Technology Raceway, Blue Egg, JD Designs especially. He paints all my cars, Jonathan. He does a great job with the paintbrush. Painted this beautiful car for me, and paints all my cup cars. So if you're looking for a paint scheme at a decent price that looks beautiful out on track, that's definitely your guy. Also, everybody at the Pro Edge Garage. I was kind of struggling in practice trying to find the speed out here. I felt like I was running about 8th to 10th on speed wise, so I was a little worried going in, but those guys are really well experienced, and we all just try to help each other out, which I think is really what helped us at the end there. Fight for those spots. Unfortunately, a few of them got crashed out right at the end. Ethan was having a great run. Tate was having a great run too. Fortunately, me and Weeks were able to break away and bring home a 1-2 for us, but we definitely had a lot more cars that were capable. Like I said, everybody at the Pro Edge Garage, everybody in Elite that makes this league happen. Chad, he puts up with a lot of stuff, a lot of complaining, but he gives us a place to race and showcase our skills. So I love running with these guys, everybody here, and also what you guys do up in the booth. Really do appreciate it. I love watching these races back, so this will definitely be one I watch back. So thank you for what you do up here.
Well, congratulations on a strong run here tonight, David, and we'll see you next week in New Hampshire.
Alrighty, boys. Thank you.
Well, Chris, last but not least, it is our third place finisher, Johnny Thomas, standing by with you.
Yeah, getting to talk to Johnny twice in one night. Johnny, we talked to you, and you were just cracking the top 10. All of a sudden, you went green for one lap. You were running third, held on there to the end. We thought maybe you'd have a shot to win. Tucker put some defensive moves on you there, but take us through that part of the race where you missed that wreck and got the race for the win.
You guys saved best for last. Good
That's
Lord,
right.
it took you guys long enough. Usually by now I'm on the couch.
Well, we're long-winded,
Yeah, it's okay. I just posted a meme on Twitter of a guy celebrating in third place. That's how I feel right now. He's got the bottle of champagne. First and second place are just hanging out like they belong, and I don't belong.
Oh, you belong. Don't you forget that.
Yeah, pretty uneventful first half. And then we had that big crash. Typically, when these elite races go real haywire, I've usually finished pretty good. Can't really say I lucked into it. I lucked into a third for sure, but top 10, I was hoping to get a top 10 tonight and ended up a third. I like I said during the race, I mentioned it. It was long runs were my weakness. I had really good short run speed. I was trying to get top 3 there for you guys so you can hear my voice again. And it was tough there on the bottom. Got a really good restart on the last green white checkered. Actually, probably could have got to Tooker's inside. But I don't know how that would have played out. I don't know if the guys would have got a run on me. I would have lost a lot of momentum there on the bottom. So then I tried to go up top there and try to get alongside of Tooker and ended up he kind of blocked it both sides. Weeks and Tooker are really fun to race with, and I have a lot of respect for those guys. So I wouldn't rough them up if I could, and I don't think I really had a shot at it anyways.
Well, what did you see there when that wreck happened? Because obviously it started right up near the front. Only the first 2 cars in line got through, and literally everybody else was in it. And then you were the next guy that got through. What did you see? And did you have to make any big moves to get through?
No, luckily I was on the high side anyways from the restart. So I was up against the wall and I saw a green car, which I'm guessing was Gerald, get turned or something, hit the wall, and then he hit the wall and he shot back down the track. And my biggest hurdle was Ethan Stanley. He was coming up the track and somehow he stopped, and I just squeezed on by. It was actually pretty easy. It was uneventful. That instance there, and then I looked behind me and nobody made it out. I think it was just Massey that made it out, but yeah, that's crazy. It took out a lot of good guys, and I'm not complaining. Got a third, so yeah, keep on wrecking.
Yeah, and you got a third. Is this going to be the start of a good run going to New Hampshire next week? And we saw you get that win last season, so you're due, right? You're due.
I don't know if say I'm due for a win. I've had a decent year. Been quiet. The B cars have just been a handful for me, but I don't know. I like to get a victory before the playoffs start. I'm not going to make a couple races here coming up, so I'd like to get a win, maybe lock myself in. That'd be sweet. But yeah, focusing on Wednesdays. I'm having a decent season, with a rough start to the year at Daytona and Homestead. But we're going to Brands Hatch on Wednesday, and I've actually surprisingly done some testing, some practicing. So I hope I'm all right there.
Yeah, and Johnny, real quick before we let you jump out of here,
Yeah,
get ready to
pass my
celebrate.
bedtime.
Yeah, I know you're getting ready to celebrate there, that third place, like you said. What sponsors you got on the car? Who else get it done? And what can we look forward to here at the Belly Up Sports?
Yeah, well, this car is the legit. It's the OG Belly Up Sports Chevy. Just want to thank Mike Brown, all those guys. They've done a ton. They've incorporated the podcast that Gerald's running every Thursday. We're getting tons of views for that. The guys look forward to it, and even like the people watching at home, tune in. It's on YouTube. It's on Belly Up Sports' page, and Gerald goes through every single race, not just the Cup Series, which is cool, and that's cool that Belly Up Sports allows that. But yeah, just follow them on X, Twitter. Go to bellyupsports.com. You can see all the content there. And then actually that podcast on Thursdays is actually on Apple Podcasts, so you can listen to it wherever you may be driving to.
Yeah, and we can't wait to listen to it, every week. And it's a great podcast. It's a good night there for the podcast car for a long time. And
yeah,
Gerald was pretty heated. We got to have a word with him.
He seemed upset. Yeah, he was all mad at Tate.
You get a chance to talk to him after the race?
No, he's fired up. He left right after the race ended, and Tate, I guess, left before the race ended. There were some tempers flowing there.
Yeah, I don't think Tate wanted to get into a fight after the race.
No, he ran out. I think he already flew home. He's got a short flight.
We got beef right here, Joe.
Well, all right, Johnny, we
I
can't
gotta
wait to
get
see you
off.
next week. Good luck in the Cup race there on Wednesday night.
All right, guys, we'll see you. Thanks for doing this. You guys do a great job.
All right, see you later, and congrats on the run, Johnny.
Yep, see you.
That was Johnny Thomas, the third place finisher here tonight. Chris Wright. It's been a long one, my friend. Why don't we get some final thoughts from you and then get the heck out of here?
Well, the start of the race, we got great green flag racing, great racing, tire fall off. Got to see some long runs there with guys struggling. And then about the time Jeff Green took 2 tires, these boys decided to, I don't know, that total eclipse came early and they shoved their heads where the sun don't shine or something happened there. And all of a sudden, we couldn't run green anymore, and we piled up about 30 cars on the front stretch. So it was an exciting race. Got to see a little bit of everything. Got to see some fireworks. And then we got to see, nobody was surprised about Weeks winning the race. But, man, what a crazy race. I can't wait to get to New Hampshire and see if any of the storyline continues.
Well, as you heard Jacob Reeves say there, we got beef, and we'll see if that continues next week in New Hampshire. But tomorrow night, be sure to tune back into ERN for the Pit Pass Network ARCA Series live from Iowa, race number 2 of the playoffs. We'll see how that one goes. Andrew Hardcastle picked up the win in race number 1 of the playoffs last week at Talladega. But on behalf of Chris Wright, my name is Robert Hill Jr. We want to thank IndyCar1909.com for being our presenting partner here tonight, alongside Blue Wing Marketing, Worldwide Technology Raceway, and RebilasPhoto.com. We'll see you next time right here on the Elite Racing Network.